We're diving into the 20 worst alcoholics in music history. These legends not only left their mark on the music scene, but also had a love affair with the bottle. Let's get started. 20. Lester Young. The jazz saxophonist Lester Young was more than just a master of his instrument. His unmatched talents could leave you in complete awe. This Kansas City native, who was born in 1909, forged his own way in the jazz world and became well known as one of the swing era's most important tenor saxophonists. Lester's saxophone evolved into a part of his soul when he performed, creating beautiful melodies that touched people. He was known by the moniker Prez, which stands for President of the Tenor Saxophone, because of his unique approach to phrasing and improvisation, which distinguished him from other players. Offstage, though, Lester's life took a distinct turn. The man who could work musical magic with ease became trapped in alcohol's clutches. His well-acknowledged tendency to down a couple too many bottles tainted his otherwise outstanding career. The mid-20th century jazz scene was a colorful but turbulent place full of late-night performances, smoky nightclubs, and a society that frequently idealized the relationship between music and alcohol. Lester gave in to the demands and temptations that came with the lifestyle, like so many of his peers. Lester's drinking habits had a negative impact not only on his personal life, but also on his professional pursuits. Under the influence, his once unhinged creative flow began to falter in his performances. The contrast between the mesmerizing notes he could produce and the battles he faced off stage painted a complex picture of a musical genius battling his demons. Lester Young's story serves as a reminder that even the most gifted individuals can find themselves ensnared by the pitfalls of addiction. Despite his personal predicaments, his legacy endures as a testament to the enduring power of his music. Lester's saxophone may have echoed through the ages, but so too does the cautionary tale of a maestro whose brilliance shone brightly despite the shadows that haunted him off stage. 19. David Byron. On stage, David Byron, the soulful vocalist of the iconic rock group Uriah Heep, reached new musical heights and enthralled audiences with voices so strong they seemed to emanate from his very core. He is known as one of the best rock vocalists of all time thanks to his unparalleled charisma in the spotlight. As Uriah Heep's frontman, Byron was instrumental in creating the band's recognizable progressive and hard rock fusion sound. His dynamic stage presence and ability to convey intense emotions through his voice made him the focal point of Uriah Heep's electrifying performances. But the contrast between Byron's skill on stage and his difficulties off it made for a complicated story. Despite his rock god persona under the spotlight, offstage he grappled with a formidable adversary, the bottle. As Byron fell into the grip of drunkenness, the very instrument that drove his performances also turned into a cause of emotional anguish. David Byron's story gained depth from the conundrum between his private challenges with addiction and his larger-than-life rock persona. The music industry, notorious for its excesses and pitfalls, witnessed another talented artist succumbing to the pressures that often accompany fame. The toll of Byron's issues became increasingly evident, affecting not only his health but also the band's relationships. Despite the challenges, Byron's contributions to Uriah Heep left an indelible mark on rock history. His voice, resonant with passion and pain, became an integral part of the band's identity. 18. Dean Martin. Dean Martin, renowned as the king of cool in the entertainment world, created an image that personified effortless charm and suave sophistication. Born in 1917, this crooner, actor, and comedian became a cultural icon, leaving a lasting impression on the Rat Pack era of the 1950s and 1960s. Dean Martin was the definition of cool on stage. His smooth voice crooned timeless classics, and his easygoing stage presence radiated an unparalleled charisma. Whether performing solo or with his Rat Pack buddies, including Frank Sinatra and Sammy Davis Jr., Dean Martin was the epitome of cool in every sense. But away from the glitzy lights of the stage and in the background, while he made it all look easy in the public eye, he was no stranger to a stiff drink when the curtain fell. Martin's fondness for alcohol became a well-known aspect of his offstage persona, often contributing to the mystique surrounding the entertainer. The entertainment industry, with its whirlwind of fame, parties, and demanding schedules, provided both the stage for Dean Martin's brilliance and the backdrop for his personal demons. His love for a good drink became a part of the narrative surrounding his life, adding a layer of complexity to the cool and collected image he portrayed to the world. Dean Martin faced personal difficulties, but his legacy lives on as proof of his diverse skill and his capacity to handle the demands of celebrity life. His contribution to the Great American Songbook, his success in film and television, and his enduring status as a pop culture icon make him a figure whose influence transcends the passing of time. 17. Liam Gallagher. Liam Gallagher, the swaggering frontman of Oasis, strides onto the stage of our rock and roll countdown, claiming the 17th spot with an undeniable presence. Known for his brash demeanor, distinctive voice, and unapologetic swagger, Liam was the epitome of the quintessential rock star. His rock star attitude wasn't confined to the stage. It spilled over into his personal life, particularly when it came to embracing the rock and roll lifestyle. Liam Gallagher was no stranger to the partying that often accompanied the music scene, and he made no effort to hide his fondness for a good old drink. The tales of Liam's escapades, fueled by his love for alcohol, became part of the Oasis legend. Whether it was the notorious sibling rivalry with his brother Noel or the headline-grabbing antics on and off the stage, Liam's life was a roller coaster of high-profile performances and excessive indulgences. Amidst the chart-topping success of Oasis, Liam's addiction with alcohol became a headline in itself. His unabashed embrace of the rock and roll lifestyle mirrored the excesses of an era that romanticized rebellion, and he played the role with gusto. Liam's influence on the music world hasn't diminished, despite the fact that his public persona and personal issues are intertwined. Due to the unadulterated sincerity of his performance, his voice, which was marked by its raw, emotive delivery, became the soundtrack of a generation.
Can you tell us something about the concert?
16. Hank Williams. Hank Williams, the country music legend, takes the 16th spot in our countdown, and while his honky-tonk tunes had us tapping our feet, his tumultuous relationship with alcohol had him tapping out early. Born in 1923, Williams was a pioneer in the country music scene, crafting timeless classics that resonated with the hearts of fans worldwide. Hank Williams personified the traditional country singer on stage. His soulful voice and poignant lyrics resonated deeply with the audience, and his influence on the genre is immeasurable. But behind the scenes, the shadows of addiction loomed large over his life, ultimately shaping the story of his tragically short-lived career. Williams' battles with alcohol were well known, and they played a crucial role in both his career and personal development. His many songs about the honky-tonk lifestyle reflected the difficulties he had in real life, where he battled seemingly insurmountable personal issues, the demands of an unforgiving industry, and the pressures of being a celebrity. Williams struggled with his own inner turmoil as the world swayed to the contagious rhythms of his music. His quick ascent to stardom was followed by a plunge into alcoholism, which resulted in a chaotic life filled with unpredictable conduct and episodes of self-destructive indulgence. Sadly, Hank Williams passed away at the young age of 29, leaving a vacuum in the history of country music that cannot be filled. On the other hand, his legacy lives on via the classic songs that are still heard today.
June, honey, I got a song I wrote just especially for you. I want to sing for just for you.
What is it?
It's called Hey Good Looking.
Oh.
15. Jim Morrison. The Doors' charismatic leader Jim Morrison comes in at number 15 on our rock and roll alcoholic countdown. He personifies the classic rock star lifestyle, busting both alcohol cupboards and stereotypes. Morrison, who was born in 1943, rose to legendary stature in the turbulent 1960s because of his beautiful lyrics and captivating live performances. Morrison's rich, hypnotic voice sliced through the air like a siren song, making him a captivating enigma on stage. His dramatic, thrilling performances struck a chord with a generation yearning for liberation and rebellion. But offstage, Morrison's drunken adventures were just as legendary as his stage antics. Breaking through to the other side was more than just a lyrical metaphor for Morrison. It encapsulated his unrelenting quest for transcendence and self-expression. It also summed up his relentless pursuit of escape and self-expression. However, alcohol acted as a willing companion in Morrison's turbulent journey as this desire frequently drifted into the darker realms of excess. Morrison's real talent, it seemed, lay in his ability to navigate the chaotic landscape of fame and excess. Liquor cabinets were not just storage spaces, they were portals to a world where boundaries blurred, inhibitions faded, and Morrison could fully be free to enjoy the mysteries surrounding his rock and roll persona. The Doors' music, marked by Morrison's reflective and poetic lyrics, served as a mirror reflecting the turbulence of an era marked by societal unrest and countercultural rebellion. While Morrison's alcohol-fueled escapades were typical of the rock star lifestyle, they also contributed to the unraveling of his personal life.
I think that nudity it's really a cyclical phenomenon. I think it comes.
14. Amy Winehouse. Amy Winehouse, the soulful songstress, claims the 14th spot in our Chronicle of Music's wildest alcoholics. Born in 1983, Winehouse left an unforgettable mark on the music scene with her unparalleled vocal talent and a style that echoed the golden age of jazz and soul. On stage, Amy Winehouse was a revelation. Her voice, a unique blend of smoky richness and raw emotion, transported audiences to a bygone era. She effortlessly channeled the spirits of jazz and soul legends, leaving crowds captivated by the sheer power and authenticity of her performances. However, behind the scenes, the haunting shadows of addiction cast a tragic pall over her promising career. Winehouse's dilemmas with alcohol and substance abuse were well documented, becoming an integral part of her story. Her lyrics' raw honesty exposed the inner demon she battled and drew listeners into the chaotic world of her mind. Her struggle with addiction ran parallel to her musical journey's melodic high points, providing a poignant undercurrent. As the world celebrated her vocal prowess, Winehouse grappled with the relentless pressures of fame and the toll it took on her mental and physical well-being. The tabloids chronicled her every stumble, and fans witnessed a downward spiral that seemed inescapable. Tragically, Amy Winehouse's life was cut short in 2011 at the age of 27, joining the infamous 27 Club, a group of legendary musicians who passed away at that age. Her death marked the culmination of a harrowing battle with addiction that had played out in the public eye. In remembering Amy Winehouse, we mourn not only the loss of an extraordinary talent, but also the human cost of the music industry's unforgiving demands. Her voice, though silenced too soon, remains a testament to the enduring power of art to express the deepest facets of the human experience, including the travails with addiction that touched her life and ultimately broke our collective hearts. 13. Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown, the R&B sensation, burst onto the scene as the charismatic frontman of New Edition, and later as a solo artist, he dominated the charts with his smooth vocals and dynamic performances. Bobby Brown was a powerful performer on stage, deftly delivering tunes that turned into R&B scene classics in the 80s and 90s. The world saw Brown as the king of R&B because of his electrifying stage presence and magnetic charisma. But in private, Brown's life was more like a wild roller coaster marked by the turbulent relationships of a love of alcohol. The tabloids chronicle Brown's stormy relationships, most notably his tumultuous marriage to Whitney Houston. Their union, marked by intense highs and devastating lows, played out in the public eye, painting a portrait of a love story marred by the pressures of fame and the pitfalls of substance abuse. Offstage, alcoholism remained a recurring theme in Bobby Brown's life. The alluring lifestyle of the music industry, when combined with personal struggles, sent him down a path where alcohol was used as a crutch and as a trigger for chaos. Brown's journey serves as a sobering reminder that fame and success do not exempt a person from life's hardships. His artistic achievements were eclipsed by a story that emerged from the turbulent junction of love, fame, and addiction. Bobby Brown's impact on the R&B genre is still evident in spite of the controversy. The private challenges he had cannot take away from his significance as an influential figure in the industry and the creator of hits that reached the top of the charts. 12. Billy Mercia. The dynamic drummer for the New York Dolls, Billy Mercia, drove the rhythm that typified the band's raw, rebellious sound in the early years of glam rock. Billy brought an unmatched level of energy to the stage. Billy Mercia was a whirlwind on stage, bringing the New York Dolls into the forefront with his upbeat demeanor and booming beats. Mercia's drumming was essential to the band's distinctive sound, and their androgynous glam rock persona and daring live performances made them stand out in the music industry. Behind the scenes, though, Mercia battled personal issues that would ultimately cause his premature death. For the gifted drummer, the excesses of the rock and roll lifestyle combined with a growing drug addiction produced a dangerous road. Billy Mercia's life was tragically cut short in 1972 while he was only 21 years old. His depressing circumstances before and after his death illustrated the damage that an excessively alcohol-fueled lifestyle may do to even the most gifted individuals. Mercia's passing highlighted the dark side of a time when living the rock star lifestyle frequently came at a high cost, in addition to the loss of a talented young musician. 11. Billie Holiday. Billie Holiday, known as the incomparable Lady Day, holds the 11th spot on our journey through the tumultuous lives of music's most alcohol-stricken personalities. Born in 1915, Holiday's voice possessed a rare and haunting quality that could penetrate the depths of human emotion, earning her a place among the jazz greats. Billie Holiday was a captivating performer. Her voice could provoke a wide range of emotions due to its beautiful timbre and expressive phrasing. Her ability to convey unadulterated emotion via every note she sang made her a unique and significant character in the blues and jazz genres. But Holiday's life was shadowed by a tragic and turbulent connection with alcohol behind the scenes. Her unmatched artistry was overshadowed by the turmoil she experienced away from the stage. In addition to the difficulties of living in a racially charged and prejudiced culture, the agony she endured in her personal life prompted her to turn to alcohol as a coping method. The story of Billie Holiday's singing career got entwined with the public knowledge of her struggle with addiction. Her battles as an African-American woman artist in a segregated society fueled the flames of her addiction. Her soulful voice, often described as capable of breaking hearts, became a reflection of her own fractured spirit. The haunting beauty of her music was tragically juxtaposed against the inner turmoil she experienced. The ups and downs of Holiday's life unfolded like a blues ballad, with alcohol serving as both the muse and the antagonist in her narrative.
Make up your mind, 'cause I've been waiting such a long, long time. Now, baby, I'll never...
10. Michael Clarke. Michael Clarke, the rhythm maestro behind the Byrds, takes the 10th spot on our list of music's most alcohol-laden journeys. Born in 1946, Clark's drumming prowess was instrumental in shaping the folk rock sound that defined the Byrds during the 1960s. Michael Clark's drumming was the foundation of the Byrds' live sound, giving their folk-infused songs an edge to capture listeners' hearts throughout the globe. The band's unique sound was a result of his rhythmic accuracy and musical intuition, which established them as forerunners of the emerging folk rock genre. But Clark's life moved at a different pace off stage. His passion for never stopping the bar from becoming cold made his story unique. With its late-night shows and intoxicating excess, the rock and roll culture greatly influenced Clark's drinking habits. As the Byrds soared to success, Clark found himself dealing with the pressures of fame, and the escape offered by alcohol became a familiar refrain in his life. The lifestyle that accompanied the band's success, coupled with the frenzied nature of the music industry, fueled Clark's penchant for indulgence. In addition to adding the rock star aura, Clark's experience with alcohol also revealed the toll that the industry's strict requirements had on its performers. The good and bad moments of success were frequently entwined with personal challenges, and Clark's story reminds us that there may be a difficult and complex reality hiding beneath musical brilliance. 9. Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra, the iconic crooner whose voice became synonymous with the golden era of American music, with a smooth delivery and impeccable phrasing making him a legend in the world of entertainment. Sinatra's performances were a masterclass in elegance and style. His voice could captivate crowds and melt hearts with its silky tones and passionate depth. He was hailed as one of the finest vocalists of all time because of how effortlessly he handled intricate songs. The chairman of the board exuded a vibe that embodied all that was cool. His charm was unrivaled. However, Sinatra's complicated reputation was further enhanced by his affinity with drink. The suave demeanor that marked his public appearances did not shield him from the allure of a good drink. Sinatra was no stranger to the world of whiskey, and tales of his late-night revelries and encounters with the spirits of choice became woven into the fabric of his legend. The Rat Pack era, marked by Sinatra's close association with fellow luminaries like Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr., became synonymous with a culture that romanticized the connection between entertainment and indulgence. Sinatra, with his unapologetic embrace of the high life, became a symbol of that era's self-indulgent glamour. His offstage exploits and fondness for whiskey became integral to the myth surrounding Old Blue Eyes. Sinatra's ability to make his way through the complexities of fame in the music industry was, in part, fueled by the very libations that added an enigmatic layer to his public image.
Just the way you look to
8. Bon Scott. Bon Scott, the original frontman of AC/DC, storms into the 8th position on our list of music's most tumultuous relationships with alcohol. Born in 1946, the Australian rocker left an indelible mark on the world of hard rock with his gritty vocals, charismatic stage presence, and a penchant for living life at full throttle. On the stage, Bon Scott embodied the essence of rock and roll extravagance, delivering anthems that served as the rebellious soundtracks for souls worldwide. His lively performances and raspy voice played an important role in shaping the distinct sound that defined AC/DC, amassing a devoted following for the band. However, away from the spotlight, Scott's habituation with alcohol took center stage in the story of his life. The unrelenting demands of the rock star lifestyle, combined with the pressures of fame and constant touring, intensified Scott's connection with the bottle. Despite living by the motto of rocking all night long, this very lifestyle led him down a hazardous and challenging path. The tragic end to Bon Scott's story unfolded in 1980 when he was found dead in his car after a night of heavy drinking. The circumstances surrounding his death underscored the high cost of the rock star lifestyle, and the world mourned the loss of a charismatic frontman whose voice had become synonymous with the raw energy of hard rock. Bon Scott's legacy endures through the timeless AC/DC catalog, a sonic testament to a life lived on the edge. His life story, like the lives of many rock stars, is a sobering reminder of the fine line that must be drawn between the joy of music and the dangers of excess. When we consider the significance of Bon Scott in the chronicles of rock history, we commemorate not just the timeless hits, but also the sobering narrative of a rock and roll icon whose life was abruptly ended by the very demons he battled.
Many people see your use of indecent language in your act as, well, outrageous. Do you see it as an essential?
7. Keith Whitley. Keith Whitley, the country crooner with the velvety voice and emotive lyrics, graced the country music scene, carving a niche for him as one of the genre's most promising talents. Keith Whitley's live performances were a masterclass of genuine country music. His soulful tunes, filled with heartfelt emotion and poignant storytelling, struck a deeply personal chord with his listeners. His ability to convey the joys and sorrows of love and life made him a respected figure in the world of country music. However, Whitley's personal life was marred by a relentless struggle with alcohol. The very soulfulness that marked his music became a mask for the turmoil within. The pressures of the music industry, coupled with personal demons, led him down a path where alcohol became both a coping mechanism and a formidable enemy. Whitley's battle with alcohol ultimately cut his promising career short. The toll of addiction became increasingly evident, impacting his ability to survive the demanding nature of the music industry. His journey serves as a poignant reminder of the delicate balance between the creative genius that fuels a musician's success and the personal challenges that can threaten to unravel it all. The country music community mourned the loss of Keith Whitley when he passed away in 1989 at the age of 33. His untimely death left an indelible mark on the genre, and his legacy lives on through the timeless tunes that continue to resonate with fans.
Without saying a word, you can light up the dark.
6. Brian Connelly. Brian Connelly's flamboyant glam rock persona and distinctive voice played a pivotal role in defining Sweet's sound during the 1970s. With his colorful style and captivating stage presence, Brian Connelly perfectly captured the essence of glam rock on stage. His strong vocals gave Sweet's singles an individuality that made them a powerful force in the glam rock period. But beneath the glamour and glitter, Connelly was fighting a private war that would eventually silence his lovely voice. Connelly's relationship with alcohol became increasingly volatile, overshadowing his once prominent career. The pressures of fame, coupled with the excesses of the rock and roll lifestyle, took a toll on his health and well-being. The very voice that had mesmerized audiences began to waver under the influence of alcohol. Unfortunately, Brian Connelly's story took a somber turn as his alcohol habit escalated. The toll on his health and the strain on his vocal cords became apparent, impacting his ability to continue as Sweet's frontman. The glam rock era claimed another casualty as Connelly's once mighty voice faded into silence. With his departure from Sweet, a chapter in rock music history came to a close, and Connelly's life became a cautionary tale. Like many performers, he achieved a delicate balance between the spotlight and the shadows, and his brilliant achievements in life were counterbalanced by personal problems during their most difficult periods.
Non-truth, but I couldn't have turned up late because in fact, the agent that was picking me up from the train I was arranged to be on.
5. Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix, the unparalleled guitar virtuoso, seizes the 5th position on our roster of musicians entangled in the throes of alcohol-fueled frenzy. Born in 1942, Hendrix revolutionized the world of rock music with his innovative guitar techniques and genre-defying soundscapes. Hendrix was a force of nature, setting his guitar ablaze and captivating audiences with a sonic arsenal that went beyond traditional rock. His performances were a dazzling display of musical prowess, earning him a hallowed place in the pantheon of guitar gods. But beneath the surface of electrifying riffs and mind-bending solos lurked a different kind of inferno, a battle with alcohol that would add a layer of complexity to his legendary narrative. Hendrix's personal wars with alcohol unfolded amidst the dazzling lights of the music scene. The pressures of fame, coupled with the tumultuous era of the 1960s, fueled his retreat into the embrace of the bottle. The culture that permeated the rock and roll lifestyle became both a playground and a battlefield for Hendrix, as he grappled with the highs of creative genius and the lows of a personal inferno stoked by alcohol. The voyage of the guitar god was sadly cut short in 1970 when he unfortunately died at the age of 27. Hendrix's legacy lives on not only in the resonance of his transcendent music, but also in the grim tale of a man whose alcohol-fueled inner hell became a vital aspect of his life story. When we consider Jimi Hendrix's place in music history, we are faced with the contradiction of a star-studded artist whose light shone on in the world, but whose personal troubles contributed a dark note to the melody of his life. 4. Eddie Van Halen. Eddie Van Halen's innovative guitar techniques and electrifying stage presence made him a rock legend, but behind the scenes, his life took on a different rhythm. Eddie Van Halen's fingers danced on the fretboard with such ease that he was able to create solos and riffs that would be remembered for years. Van Halen's rapid ascent to popularity was driven by his dexterity, and his impact on the growth of rock guitar is still incomparable. Van Halen's personal conflicts, however, provided a dark facet to his enduring legacy. The pressures of fame, coupled with the demanding nature of the music industry, led Eddie Van Halen into the clutches of alcohol. The very creativity that fueled his musical brilliance became entangled with the seductive allure of the bottle. The exhilarating heights of performing in colossal stadiums were offset by the depths of an ongoing struggle with alcoholism that posed a threat to mute the melodic brilliance of the guitar maestro. Van Halen's journey with alcohol was a tumultuous one, impacting both his personal life and his ability to overcome the challenges of stardom. The paradox between the dazzling performance on stage and the private struggles with alcohol underscored the complexities of being a musical icon in the unforgiving spotlight. The rock world mourned the untimely passing of guitar virtuoso Eddie Van Halen in 2020, leaving behind a legacy that transcends the strings of his guitar and echoes eternally through rock history. 3. Kurt Cobain. Kurt Cobain, the enigmatic frontman of Nirvana, claims the third spot in our exploration of musicians entangled in the throes of addiction. Born in 1967, Cobain's raw, emotive lyrics and distinctive grunge sound made him the voice of a generation. Yet behind the curtain of musical genius, Cobain grappled with a personal battle that ultimately became inseparable from his legacy. On stage, Cobain's performances were a visceral expression of angst and rebellion, reflecting the disillusionment of a generation. Nirvana's meteoric rise to fame catapulted them into the epicenter of the grunge movement, with Cobain at the helm. However, the pressures of fame, coupled with personal demons, led him into the tumultuous world of substance abuse. Cobain's problems with addiction were widely reported, revealing the less glamorous side of the music industry. His painful and deep poems frequently reflected the inner turmoil that drove his troubled relationship with drugs. The story of Kurt Cobain's life was further enhanced by the contrast between his public persona as a grunge icon and his personal battle with addiction. Tragically, Kurt Cobain's journey came to an abrupt end in 1994 when he died by suicide at the age of 27. His passing cast a shadow over the music world, leaving behind a legacy that continues to resonate with fans. Cobain's story serves as a poignant reminder of the toll that fame and addiction can take on even the most influential and seemingly invincible figures in the realm of music. The echoes of his anguished lyrics and the seismic impact of Nirvana's music endure as a testament to both the brilliance and fragility of an artist who became an unwitting symbol of a tumultuous era. 2. Ozzy Osbourne. The renowned Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne, comes in second in our investigation of musicians who have had turbulent relationships with alcohol. Osbourne, who was born in 1948, rose to prominence in the heavy metal community by leading the venerable band Black Sabbath before starting a lucrative solo career. Ozzy Osbourne's live concerts were a theatrical and heavy metal extravaganza. He left a lasting impression on the music industry with his unique voice and love of the macabre. But Osbourne's drinking habits off the stage were just as well known as his character on stage, building a story that solidified his place among rock's most colorful characters. The stories of Osbourne's escapades with alcohol are the stuff of rock and roll legend. From biting the heads off bats to engaging in wild antics, his life offstage mirrored the excesses of the heavy metal scene he helped shape. The notorious incidents, often fueled by copious amounts of alcohol, became synonymous with the larger-than-life personality that defined Ozzy Osbourne. While his association with alcohol played a significant role in shaping his public image, Osbourne's issues with addiction took a toll on his personal life. The rock star lifestyle, with its relentless touring and constant scrutiny, intensified the challenges he faced. Osbourne's journey through the peaks and valleys of fame and addiction stands as a testament to his indomitable spirit. Despite the tumultuous dance with alcohol, he emerged as a survivor, and his impact on the heavy metal genre stands unrivaled.
The one and only Ozzy Osbourne. Good evening, Ozzy.
What?
Good evening.
1. Keith Moon. Keith Moon, the legendary drummer of The Who, earns the top spot in our list of the top 20 worst alcoholics in music history. Born in 1946, Moon was not merely a drummer. He was a force of nature, leaving a trail of chaos and musical brilliance in his wake. On stage, Moon's drumming was a spectacle of energy and innovation. His frenetic style, characterized by explosive fills and unconventional techniques, became a defining element of The Who's sound. Moon's performances were a masterclass in controlled chaos, mirroring his offstage antics and earning him a reputation as one of the greatest drummers in rock history. Offstage, Moon's insatiable thirst for alcohol became the stuff of rock and roll legend. His escapades were as wild as his drumming, with tales of hotel room destruction, practical jokes, and excessive partying becoming synonymous with his larger-than-life persona. Moon's relentless pursuit of a good time often pushed the boundaries of sanity and sobriety. The contrast between Moon's onstage brilliance and offstage troubles created a story that transcended the music. His dependence on alcohol, coupled with a penchant for excess, became an integral part of the Keith Moon legend. His drumming virtuosity reached new heights, but was dampened by a personal existence riddled with self-destructive impulses. Regrettably, Keith Moon's story reached its conclusion in 1978 when he died at the age of 32. His passing marked the end of an era for The Who and left a void in the world of rock drumming. Moon's legacy endures not only through the thunderous beats he delivered on stage, but also through the chaotic symphony of his life, where the drumming genius and the troubles with alcohol danced in an inseparable duet.
About the little singer, what's your opinion of him?
Well, I think he does a damn good job about that. Personally, I would...
And there you have it, folks. The 20 worst alcoholics in music history. Which one surprised you? Comment on them below. Until next time, keep the music alive and the stories rolling.